away from home, in a distant land that's somewhat familiar to us all, lived the Burning Empire, our two-queen fire ant colony that has everything to prove in the My Antics ant room. Today we'll be zooming in closer than ever before to watch these ladies do army-style feeding to bring the food back for the brood and the queen. It won't take... Since the last time we checked on the Burning Empire, they have about doubled in size that we've last seen them. It is magnificent the amount of brood that they have, and they are well over 100 workers at this time. Let's play around with the camera for a moment and see exactly how close we can really get to these little ladies. Today's offerings will be a fresh killed roach, a fresh cut piece of cherry, and a half of a raspberry. Before I could even hit play on the recorder, one of the fire ant workers has already found these delicious treats and is getting excited over finding food. As expected, the alarm has sounded, and the worker ant runs back to the colony as fast as she can. She's going to tell the others immediately that there is food found, and to swarm it and take control of it before other ants or insects could possibly start to take it on their own. Now that she's inside, it won't take very long before the fire ants storm out of their nest to acquire the new meal they found and to secure the location. Obviously, there's no other predators who could be eating their snacks, but in their mind, every second is precious when it comes to finding food. Like seen on documentary channels, one single ant can cause a chain reaction that can lead the whole colony to food. Our one single soldier brought many into the tubes, and it went from being a very quiet night to a rambunctious night where soldiers are running up and down both tubes trying to figure out where the food was that was discovered. It's only been roughly 10 minutes since the first alarms were sounded in the Burning Empire, yet already workers have been dragging back little bits of their offerings, showing the others what they found and what they have to look forward to when they discover what's going on in the outworld themselves. It's amazing to see how fast these little ladies really put it into action, and they are swarming the tubes as we speak. One by one, the little ants walked towards their goal of finding out where the food is, and the tubes went from being quiet and calm to an everlasting line of fire ants all the way to their prize. Though a majority of our fire colony is now foraging in the outworld, I do want to bring it to our attention that these are the nurse ants. The nurse workers are workers that don't necessarily leave the nest, and their main job is to take the food that the workers are bringing back and distribute it among the brood and the queen. There are some weird facts out there, like some workers don't do anything at all, but in reality, every single worker has its own job, its own position, and its own piece of the puzzle to make their colony succeed, and there is never a point where one single worker does nothing. Let's zoom out real quick and take a peek at the ports that go from the outworld back to the nest. Since we began, we saw a very dead passage. We saw maybe one or two in the beginning, but now that they've realized that there is food for them to gather, this tube has now turned into a highway to go back and forth. It's such an amazing thought that this little setup here can contain such excitement and such visual action of what these ants are all about, and it really just makes me at awe when I see what these little girls are capable of in this setup alone. Returning to the burning empire the next day has dramatic, insane results. The once roach body has now become an empty husk, and most of the fire ants that were participating in the raid have returned to the nest with their bounty. Some fire workers stay behind to make sure they scrape clean every little part they can from the carcass, and now this empty husk has turned into a shredded pile of remains. With the burning empire fed and full bellies for another week, they continued to produce more eggs and feed the queens what they need to survive. Fire ants are truly an amazing species with a lot of mystery behind them, and you do not want to be on the wrong side of their attitude, but if you get a chance to view them like we do, it's a magnificent sight to really understand how this species grows and succeeds in the wild. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed the feeding and look forward to next week's video as well. We've said it before and we'll say it some more. Happy ant keeping.